I've talked a little bit before about the spaces in games that make me feel nostalgic. Oftentimes, sunsets in PS2 and GameCube environments are what I end up calling back to. There's just something about that time between the day and night that invokes a sense of longing for a past that never was. Of course, the PS2 and GameCube just being the first consoles I was exposed to as a child. So I didn't grow up with a GameCube, I grew up with a Wii, but the GameCube was sort of this ephemeral object outside of time that I always saw but could never play, and the Wii was basically two GameCubes stapled together anyway. Regardless, there are other aesthetic sensibilities that can evoke strong feelings of nostalgia from me, and there is one game that is particularly good at doing that. Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. While there may not be those listless, almost empty spaces permeated by orange hues, there are these strange, effervescent pastel colors that line the entirety of Yoshi's journey through the islands. There's something ephemeral about everything he does. He could disappear at any possible moment like some kind of a wry dream that happens to manifest itself as a dinosaur. Likewise, everything else there could as well. While there are many games that have dreamlike presentations which deal with dreams in interesting ways, Yoshi's Island is a dream without those direct connections. It's just a weird experience. There are several segments throughout the game where Yoshi manages to transfigure himself into a vehicle of some kind. This is never addressed in any meaningful capacity and is always a surreal period. The controls completely change and the often odd-looking sprite rotation graphics come into full play. Baby Mario, who you are chaperoning for the entire game, often has the ability to simply sprout a cape and become invincible. Chain chomps jump from the background and into the foreground in a destructive and haphazard way in many levels. There's an entire segment of the game that's just dedicated to avoiding touching a certain kind of enemy that makes the screen display feverish psychedelic colors. Nothing in Yoshi's Island feels tangible, it simply doesn't feel like a place that exists. And it's those colors and ideas that I find to be so nostalgic about it. While later entries, notably Woolly World, would take a more hands-on and tangible approach to the presentation through the use of realistic arts and crafts, Yoshi's Island is content with simply being a strange dream that you had one night. And that is far more nostalgic to me than glue-based cardboard craft projects. Vibrant, strange crayon drawings were more my forte growing up. So when I see Yoshi's Island, I see a strange sort of mirror being placed in front of me. One that shows me what I might have done if I had made my own game at that age. Of course, it's far more refined than anything I could have done, but that's besides the point. Yoshi's Island is the daydream personified, and that's something that I think is worth appreciating. This has been Arcade Everlasting, who still finds Twilight Princess to be frankly the most nostalgic thing I've ever played, signing off. Thank you for watching.